Okay, so we will move on very quickly. I want to tell about the project which we have for this term. Okay, so it is similar to the Sandhi project which we did for part 1. Sarvaihi drishyate va? You can see, right? The
Bagini.
So you can take any text. The objective of the exercise is to find 50 Subanta words. Okay, Subanta Shabdaha, Panchashat Shabdaha. But it is not just random any 50. No two words have the same pattern of Rupa Siddhi. That is, you cannot take, say, Rama and Vriksha and Gaja and 50 Akaranta. So all the words should be different. Different as in, what I mean is same pattern. You can take multiple akarantas, say one Rama and one Sarva or something. So it is not different antas, but they should not be the same pattern. Evam iti uchyate kila. Ekam pradhana shabdam datva evam eva anye shabdaha iti tatha na bhavet. Ataha sarve shabdaha bhinnaha bhaveyuhu. And all vibhaktis and vachanas are represented at least once, as in all 7 vibhakti should be there. It cannot all be prathama ekavachana or dvitiya. So sarvaha vibhaktayah. Among 50, you should have at least all the 7 represented ones. And again, all vachanas. Right. So I don't say each like 21, you have to find prathama ekavachana, prathama dvivachana, prathama bahuvachana. Not like that. If possible, you can do that. But generally, so it cannot all be ekavachananta. So ekavachanantani, dvivachanantani, bahuvachanantani, sarvani bhaveyuhu. Evameva sarva vibhaktyantaha shabdaha bhaveyuhu. Iti dvitiyam. Tritiyam tu, so halanta and ajanta. So at least 20 each. It's a representation. It could be a bit here and there, but it cannot be all ajantas or all halantas. Sarvasya ada Ramashabda arabhya sarvesham vishaye asti ityatah. So approximately you should have at least 20 ajantas or halantas, which means it could be 30, 20 or 25, 25, whatever combinations you have. Please don't be very exact on this. The instruction of this means that you should have both in a roughly proportional form. Okay. Among that, you should also have some sarvanamas and some sankhya-vachakas. So at least 5 sarvanamas, any 5. It could be halanta, ajanta, whatever. Again, sankhya-vachakas could be, they're all halantas, but of different kinds. Eka, dvi, 3, of course, are ajantas. Okay. So the text, you can choose any text like we had last time. You can choose a text and which portion, say if you take Ramayana, which one, you can put your name and email ID here. So it need not be the same text. So there are a few texts here, mainly whatever was taken last time. The list is here. You can also choose other texts if you want. Okay, let me know. I'll tell you, but a general advice is don't take very simple texts. Okay, they will not have variety of subantas. Okay, tatra subantanam vishesha, you will find 20 or 30 easily, but to find more varieties, you need to take something which is, the later kavyas or gadya kavyas, natakas. Those will have a higher probability of having more variety of shabdas, because once you go, you will find that you will have mostly ajantas and only a few popular halantas. Ataha vichintya chinvantu, it can be anything. I don't have any restriction on which text. In case you start with a text and you find you didn't find all the words, you want to take another text later, that is also possible. Okay. So you have May, June and July. Basically, we are already in the mid of May. So June and July, 2 months you have. The project should be submitted by the end of July. So what exactly you will need to submit? There are 2 things, right? One is the list of the Shabda Rupas you have collected. There is a template here which I will show. So this is just a list. What are the 50 words, right? So this is the word. So there should be 50 words. you have to mention which is the text and sutra or line number, and the actual line you have to tell, right? Say Bhagavan Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim. One pada is enough. You don't have to give the whole shloka. If it is a shloka, one pada. If it is a gadya, that line, the reference and the word. You have to give the pratipadika. What is the type? That is whether it is tadhitanta, kridanta, etc. Right. So if you download, what you should do is, here in the first page, you enter your details, your name, email ID, and what is the text you are taking. To actually work, go to this file and download and save it as Excel, or you can make a copy of a Google Sheet into your drive and work on it. Okay, so you cannot enter in this sheet. You have to make a copy for yourself, and you will find the drop downs there. So kridanta, tadhitanta, samasa. Right. So those are the types of pratipadikas you have. Sarvanama, Sankhya, Unadi, and Avyutpanna. So types of pratipadikas. Then Anta, Linga, Vibhakti, Vachana. Okay, that's all very obvious. So this is only the list. Your list should have 50 words. And so quickly, if I say Vibhakti, so all Vibhakti should be there. All Vachanas should be there. And different lingas. Though I haven't mentioned it, please make sure different lingas are also there. So this is one list which you will give as either the Excel or a Google Sheet. And the second one is where you will write the prakriya for those Subanta Rupas. Whatever 50 words you have chosen, you have to either write or type. It's your choice. That is one. You can write and make a scan or type it. So for those 50 words, one is the list of words and the other is the prakriya for those words. Okay? So as in last time, if you want, yes.
तत्र लिस्ट् अपि लिखितुं शक्यते वा तत्र टैप्
So तदपि लिखितम् अस्ति. So type कर्तुं क्लेशः अस्ति चेत् you can submit a handwritten list. Okay, same format, just put a table and fill it. Okay, you can also give the list also as handwritten. That is fine.
धन्यवादः.
So if you want, you can make 2 or 3 people, you can work together. In that case, the number of words will be more, right? I mean, writing the prakriya, you can split it, but the list of words, you have to make it at least 100. Even if it is 3 people or 2 or 3 people means 100 words. For writing the actual prakriya, you can split among yourself, but the list, you can submit it as one. If you want to do that, or if you want to work individually, that's your choice. Okay, so this template sheet has the template for data. As I said, download or make a copy. Useful links, it is just for some typing and some Sanskrit documents where you can find the texts, can find in Wikisource. The IITK super site has lots of them. So there are a lot of places where you can find the texts in Unicode if you want the forms, right? So that is it from me. So if you have any questions, please ask.
Ma'am,
I have a doubt.
Sorry,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, please. Kumar.
When you say prakriya, should we start with Saujasamot and Itsangya, Lopaha and all that?
Svaujasamot, yes, I mean, you can just mention Svaujas, that is enough. Itsamya, you can assume. You don't have to write all Itsamyas. I'll assume that you are all familiar with the Itsamya. Okay, you can skip that. That's okay. But the main other Vidhi Sutras, you will have to write.
Ma'am.
Yeah, just one moment. Please raise your hands. I'll ask one by one.
Where do I raise my hand?
We cannot raise hands.
There are people who are raising. I
Yes.
think it's
Okay.
okay. Anyway.
I got it.
Okay, Veda Bhagini.
Main text, it has to be only what is given there, or we can choose
No,
whatever.
no, you can choose other texts.
Okay.
Let me know. I'll just add which one you want.
May I ask?
Yes, Sudha Bhagini.
This
Gadyams mostly they have samasta padams.
Yeah,
So we'll have to, when we, yeah, so we have to take the entire samasta padam and the ending, and the prakriya is only for the samasta padanta.
yeah, you can write that. I mean, for writing, you don't have to write the whole samasta pada. You can put ... that word and write the show the prakriya for that. That's okay.
Okay.
Okay, next, Vidya Bhagini.
भगिनी तत्र प्रातिपदिकविषये तद्दिदान्तं वा तत्र संशयः भवति वा इति
Bhavedeva, Vartameva Dattam. You will have to refer to koshas to try and find out. If you are unable to find out, you can ask. But to find out what kind, generally what you need to do is you have to go to a kosha, right? If you input the word, it will give the nishpatti and it will generally give the pratyaya or the sutra number. So based on that, you should be able to decide. If you have doubts, you can always ask. Okay, that
तत्र
will
कोऽपि रेकमेण्ड् करोति वा सजेस्ट् करोति वा कुत्र प्राप्नुमः वा इति
the best things are the Shabdakalpadruma and Vachaspatya. Right?
Astu.
So those are the two
Astu.
major places which the Ashtadhyayi website, there the Koshanvesha has the koshas in a searchable format. So if you put the Pratipadika, sometimes Pratipadika or Prathamanta depending on the kosha, you will get. Okay, so most of it will say, and it will also have the details of it. So I'll just quickly show for those who want to know. Say, for example, I want to know, say, Bhagavan itself. Right. So you can go to the Koshanveshaha here, which will give you the, I should have put the Pratipadika.
Last 15 days, there's a huge problem in the ashtadhyayi.com website. In fact, Unadi is not opening at all.
Is it?
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, he did a major update, so maybe there is a cache problem. So if you clear your cache, it
Done,
should
ma'am.
okay,
Done.
I don't know.
Done, enabled offline mode, whatever possible we did, but Unadi is not opening for the last 3 days.
Oh, I see. And I had tried once and I got it. I don't know. But yeah, there are problems. Even now it's somehow not loading. I'll tell. We have been talking, but I'll tell Nilesh again. There is a problem.
And now about 100 of us are going to hit the website, no? That's right.
Yeah, I'll definitely tell him to do something about it quickly. Okay, so I'll show this some other time, maybe when it's again, as she said, not loading right now. But the koshas, mainly Shabdakalpadruma and Vachaspatya, they will give the nishpatti for most of the words with the pratyaya and details. Okay. Yes, 1 second.
धन्यवादः
Astu. Then who else? Swaminathan.
Yes. My question is, you put the distribution of the words to be both ajantas, halantas, and srilinga, pullinga, napumsakalinga. In terms of antas, do you expect at least there should be some of taditantas? I don't know much about taditantas.
No. That is not needed. I mean, for this, because we have been learning only Subantas, you can, I mean, that's not required. Okay.
Yeah, that was my question. Yes. I know how to
That
search the
is
koshas
not
and all.
needed. No. That's not needed. You just, whatever word you pick, you have to find out the nishpati. That's all. But even if all of them are taditantas, it's okay. I mean, if you find.
Dhanyawada.
Right. Yes, so there's a question. We haven't studied pratyayas, so we don't know about krit, tadhita, etc., which is true to an extent, but also for all the words, the pratipadika, we have been, trying to learn the nishpatti of it, right? So the intention of giving that was that you learn a bit more about each word. So as I said, you may not be able to find for some of them, it is okay. But the intention is that you should be able to go to the kosha and read that vyutpatti portion of it and try to understand from it. So once you go, especially if there is a sutra number, many of them will give the pratyaya and will show the sutra number. The moment you look at it, if it is in the 3rd chapter, it is a kridanta. If it is in 4th or 5th, it is a tadhitanta. Okay, that is the easiest. So if it is a unadi pratyaya, they will put the symbol unadi. It's not that difficult. Okay, I would have liked to show, but this is not loading. Just a moment. So I will show it from my system, for example. So if you look at this, say Sadhrichi, there is a word, assuming. So he gives, say this is the Kalpadruma, Shabda Kalpadruma Kosha. You can say this, the first thing which they give after it will be the Nishpatti. So Saha Anchati Yasa. This is a word which you will study in this week's class. Never mind. So what he says is Anch plus Ritvigadina Kvin. So you know the sutra Ritvig Dadhrik, and we know that Kvin is a Krit Pratyaya. Right? So assuming this is the word, you can say it is a Kridanta. So like that, based on any word. So if you look at Bhagavat, okay. So you can see here, Bhagaha, whatever he gives, Bhaga plus Nitya Yoga Matup. So Matup is a very common Tadhita Pratyaya. For very common Pratyayas, they will just mention the Pratyaya. If it is a special Pratyaya, right? So there is a Varach Pratyaya, which is there. So Ish plus Varach. So you can go back to the Kosha and look at Varach. Right? So that exercise is basically to make sure that you are, you try to learn the koshas. It's okay if you totally don't find, as I said, you can always reach out. You can discuss in the students group. If you are still unable to find, you can always reach out to me. Okay, don't worry too much about that part. That is not the intention. The main focus of the project is on the Subanta. If you are able to find Antalinga, Vachana, Vibhakti and give the Prakriya, your project is done. That is what to say, something extra you are learning for the future. Yes. Anybody else? Swarnadeep.
I have a question, ma'am. This what you are saying is that the reference document has to be only one, or it can be from various documents?
Ideally one, because we want each one to look at different this one. So you have to select one text initially, but after going through, in any case, if you find you were not able to find, you can take one more, add to it. But ideally, you should be working on one text, because you'll also be going through the text and you will get.
So if I pick up like Sundarakandam, so everything should be from there only, is it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Dhanyavad.
Yeah. Parnadeep Mahoday, you have a question?
Ma'am, Shruyateva.
Shruyate.
Ma'am, if a Subanta is existing in the form of a Sandhi, do we have to go all the way to the Sandhi Baddha form, or do we have to go until the Subanta form? Like
example.
Narayanan Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam. So Naranchaiva, do we have to go up till the end?
Subanta, what is the Subanta there? Naram is a Subanta. Cha and Eva, of course, Avyayas, which we are not taking. So Naram is what you have to take. That's all. Sandhi doesn't change the Subantatva of anything. Subanta is the easiest because it will be there independently. Whether or not Sandhi is done, a Subanta is a Subanta. You cannot change that.
Okay, thank you.
So Naram is the Subanta there. That's all. You don't have to mention the Sandhi, etc. Just take the Subanta and give it.
Dhanyavad.
So 2-3 people can choose the same text, right? The text can be duplicated. Like if I choose Narayaniyam, somebody else can also take Narayaniyam.
You can take, no worries. It's ideal if you take different, but it's okay. Since you're working.
100.
Bhagini, I have a question.
100 dashakams. If we, I think if one student takes Narayaniyam and nobody else can take that. People like me.
No, that is why I said I had no restriction on that. So Narayaniyam is multiple people
100
can
dashakams
work on
are there. Yeah, exactly.
That's okay. Yeah.
Bhagini, I have one question. This is more general, not related to this project alone. Now, when we are writing our prakriya, we still, I'm writing it in like a tabular format. I write the prakriya on the left and then give the reason on the right. Is there, like, for example, does it look childish? I'm not sure. Because in other texts we see that, like Chatvaraha, if I say Chatur Shabdat Jash Vibhaktau Anubandhalope, like that. It's written in a paragraph type, which is expected at our level. Is there anything like that?
I have never shown that at all.
You
So
have
I
never
always
shown, no.
shown only this one, because see,
Yeah,
it's
the table
basically
type.
representation.
Yeah.
Those days in text, when you're writing, it was a question of space, it was a question of this. And it is the Shastriya Shaili, right? We did that for the Maukhika, where we tried to practice that. But for writing, for clarity, we follow what we are following in the course.
We can continue to follow that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I guess this question is maybe may not be correct. 2-3 people can use the same word, right? There will be some duplicates.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other person is doing. So
Exactly. So that's okay. That's not an issue. Uma Bhagini, you have a question?
Namaste, Bhagini. What about if we choose Subhashitani? Which book?
I would suggest not, because most Subhashitas are very simple to provide enough variety of Subanta Shabdas. Okay. But if you want, you have to choose something from Subhashita Ratna Bhandagara, where you look at some of the longer Subhashitas, which may have complicated words. But all the smaller Subhashitas, you will not get much variety for this project, basically.
Okay.
They may not be ideal.
Thank you, Bhagini. Dhanyawad.
Namaste, Bhagini.
Yes.
If we choose a text like from Kadambari, how can we decide that it is 50 verses or 100 verses?
No, that's okay. I mean, that is just a identification. I mean, just so that somebody doesn't take one Ashtakam. That was the reason of going. But you can take Kadambari till you reach the 50 words. See here, in Sandhis, what we did was we took the text and analyzed the whole text. Here, it is not that. So you can start from wherever you want and go till you get 50 words which satisfy. That's it.
Dhanyawadaji.
Sandeep Mahoday, any questions? Those who have had your questions answered, please lower your hands so that I know. Vamshi Sudha Bhagini, you have a question? You have to unmute yourself.
Namaste Bhagini.
Kshimita. Vadami va?
Just a minute. Sandeep Mahoday vadatu.
Namaste Bhagini. Ram.
Ram.
Just one question, like, can we select one chapter from, say, Bhagavad Gita or one from this Ramayana or something like that, and see
you
that
can take. Yeah. But one chapter you may not get that many words. So you will have to see how many
so
chapters you have.
combination of 2 to 3 chapters, if we can do it or something like that.
Yeah, it's okay. You can just mention Bhagavad Gita initially. You can put, say, chapters 1 to 3. Then if you need, you can also add more chapters.
Oh, thank you very much. The main question is it possible for you to just take one basic Bhagavardhini session of these pratyayas? Because Prudant, Taddit, all those words in Prudant, how many different forms can come, or in Taddit, how many different Matu, all those we can, perhaps if you can just give one Bhagavardhini section.
You can have one overview, but then see, Kridantas, there are more than 120 Krit Pratyayas and nearly 500 Tadhita Pratyayas. Okay. So to cover actually them is very difficult, but I can definitely give an overview. We'll do that someday.
Yeah, so one session giving overview, it will help us in understanding and compiling it.
Yeah, you can do
that. Dhanyawad. Ram.
Yes, Vamshi Bhagini.
Namaste, Mahoday. Do we need to pick up Shabdas, Hakaranta, Dakaranta, Makar? It would be nice if we can get equal distribution of all the Shabdas. Is it possible that way? I'm not sure.
It depends on the text. It's usually not possible to get that to that level. Okay, so even this getting Halanta and Ajanta, may be possible, but beyond that, it is very difficult. You can try definitely. I mean, for your
Can
own
we
thing,
take up 2 texts in case we don't get enough shabdas
yes,
for?
definitely.
We can do that?
That you can
Okay.
do that.
Dhanyavadam.
Okay. Any other questions? Swaminatham Nahodaya, you do have any other questions?
Bhagini, is this already uploaded to the portal? Our portal?
As in, it is in the drive. I will share the link today. I'll add this thing in the course page, and I will give the link to this file.
Astu Bhagini. Dhanyavada.
Yes, Leena Bhagini.
Which Ashtadhyayi chapter do we need to memorize now?
For this, I think 8.2. I haven't looked at it yet. I think I remember it was 8.2.
8.2.
Bhagini, my question is, can we take Dasha Kumara Charitam?
Certainly. That's very good. As I said, in all those Kadambari and Dashakumara Charitam, you may have very long Samastapadas, where you can, just take the last component for writing the Prakriya. Okay, because writing whole thing.
Because that will be the opportunity to read Dashakumara Charitam.
Exactly. So that's a very nice Kavya. You will find lots of usages.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
Bhagini, will we be having Maukika Abhyasam this time also? At the end of
Maukika
12th.
Pariksha.
Maukika
No.
Pariksha, sorry.
Not in that format. It will be something else. I'm thinking of something else. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yes,
Bhagini, can you give us a few examples, one or three examples of
it's given
Subandhas?
here. Yes, you can see here. There is Bhagavan se nahite Bhagavan vyaktim vidur devana danavaha is a verse.
Will it be uploaded?
Yeah, this will be uploaded. I'll upload it in the course page. All these three examples are there. Say Bhagavan bhuho ambhamsi. So Bhagavan is Sambodhana Prathama Ekavachana and Pullinga. This is bhuhu is Prathama Ekavachana and Strilinga, and so on. So the Prakriya you have to write separately. That's all. Okay.
Prakriya, where to write it down? Prakriya.
You write it in your notebook and you take a photo and send. That's
okay.
Bhagini, I'm having a doubt in that Bhagavan Vyaktim is also Subanta.
You can take it if you want.
As a
As I
second
said,
word, we can take. Is it
yeah, that is why the same line, if you see here, both these are taken from the same line. You can take as many words. Say, for example, this one has bhuhu, ambhamsi, analaha. As long as they are not repeating patterns. Say, you cannot take analaha, anilaha. Both of them are akaranta pullingas with same. But if there are different words, you can take himamshuhu, puman, everything you can take from the same line. That is why I specifically put one where it is repeated. You can.
Can we use Amarakosha as source?
Amarakosha as the text. Huh?
Yeah.
You can. Yeah, you can.
It could be there.
I hadn't thought of it. Yeah, you can. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
That will be really good. Don't have to search.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's it.
So each one takes one kosha and finishes it all.
That's I'm thinking actually, should we have koshas? Because ideally the thing is to have it, but you will not have. See, the problem is you will not get all vibhaktis. Okay. And all vachanas.
Correct.
You will only get prathama ekavachana there. So you cannot use a kosha. It has to be some text where you will find all the different vibhaktis.
Bhattikavya upayogam kartum shaknuah.
Nishchayana. Bhattikavya is a very good one, and he deliberately uses complicated words, so you will get lots of examples.
My question is, why do we choose only one text? Why not several?
Because see, over the way, it will be one good database, right? As this one, like the sandhis we have. So having one text and analyzing what is the type, it will also give you a chance to go through one text. That is one reason where you will have to read one text correctly and see how is the usage pattern. Going by, we will also get an idea as a group on what is the kind of Subanta usages by different poets in different texts. There is a lot of data you can get out of it, which will be useful in many ways. For Vyoma, we can use it for portals like Ashtadhyayi, where we can make a collection of prayogas and so on. Being random is difficult both for you. I mean, you just randomly go and you will not know where to go. So having one text and going from beginning to end is good.
No, I don't mean random. I don't mean random. Maybe I know Bhagavad Gita and then Narayaniyam and Dakshinamurti Ashtakam is my favorite. So we can choose 2 or 3. That's what I mean.
Start with one. Then, as I said, if you don't find in that, you will can choose more. It's okay. I have said there is no restriction that it has to be only one.
Okay. Dhanyawad.
Okay. So I hope all questions are answered. Yes, Vamshi Bhagini, you still have a question?
No.
Okay, we'll stop here. So again, we can discuss next week, go through, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Yenakshara samamnayam adhigamya maheshwarat kritsnam vyakaranam proktam tasmai paninaye namaha vakyakaram vararuchim bhashakaram patanjalim paninim sutrakaram cha pranatosmi munitrayam natva saraswatim devim shuddhang gunyang karomyaham paniniya praveshaya laghu siddhanta kaumudim.